Okay, hey guys, I've got some earbuds to review. Um, they all came together in this puffy thingy-mabob, and honestly, I kind of forget what these actually are. Can you even read that? What is this? EPZ G10. Okay, this is the EPZ G10, my dudes. And you can kind of see some sort of squiggly frequency response. Okay, what else do we got? Got this one. This one doesn't even bother to show you the frequency response. It's the Tipsy EPZ. I think this is actually the most expensive one. And funnily enough, seems to be the most smallest box. Okay, what the hell is this? A big box. Okay, so this is the EPZ Q5. So we have the Q5. What the hell is this again? The Tipsy. And the G10. G10, Q5, and Tipsy by EPZ. And look at that frequency response on the back of that. It looks a little sharp and pointy. Okay, so I'm going to open these boxes. Yeah, boys. Okay, well, I'm probably going to do it off camera because it's going to take a little bit of time to get this plastic wrap off of these bad boys. And at least I'm not whispering right. You guys don't like when I whisper in these videos. But, yeah, it feels like cardboard. These IEMs, these earbuds, they are not actually that expensive. Some of them are pretty cheap. I think the Tipsy is the most expensive one, and I think it's not even that expensive, to be honest with you. So these are definitely, you know, you gotta keep in mind that, you know, these are not going to be made of like the bestest materials. I remember when I first got my first Chi-Fi, which is still my favorite Chi-Fi, the EM6L by SimGot. It's, you know, I was not sure, you know, if the quality was any good. It was my first ever earbud by a Chi-Fi company. Okay, so this is the Tipsy. I believe it's the most expensive, yet it's in the smallest box. I don't know for sure. Okay, what do we got here? A little label. Oh boy, those are actually pretty. Those are pretty. Not the thickest of cables, but you know, those look really nice. I like that. Okay, that's the Tipsy. Well, I guess I'll just show you them one by one. And it's got the frequency response on the box. It's a little jittery in the treble. Honestly, guys, at this point, you know, besides the EM6L and maybe one or two other IEMs in very special circumstances, you know, that treble is always going to be a little bit jittery. So this one, how do I get it out of this box? This one's kind of not wanting to come out. This happened before with one of these boxes, and I ended up tearing it trying to get it out. Oh, okay. So there we go. This one also looks pretty nice. I gotta say, the designs that they do make, you know, they do look, you know, they got some flash to them, the pizzazz. Okay, and then this last one, this big boy, the Q5. So again, this is just kind of opening the box and looking at them, and I guess maybe this one, yeah, it opens up like that too. Okay. This is a more of unique design. I don't know what that is all about. Okay. So, I'm curious which one's the most expensive again. But I'll see you guys in a second after I take them all out of the box and all that stuff. Okay, so I was kind of exploring this stuff. Which one is this one again? Inside this box, this little box, and this is the I don't even know what the hell this one is again. This is the G10. Okay, let's just like put the G10 box. No, this is not the G. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay. So the G10, you know, looks like this. Kind of reminds me of the EM6L stock cable. They're actually very nice looking, to be honest. You know, they glisten. They look pretty nice. What's interesting is it came with this by EPZ. It's a little pouch. Okay, nothing special. It comes with this weird thing. Don't know what that is. And then it comes with even more weird stuff. Okay, so these are the tips, the silicone tips. And then it comes with this weird crap, which I think is a freaking laser pointer. Oh, I'm liking that. I don't know if it's, you know, if it has the EPZ logo on it or if it's like just a laser pointer. Some sort of keychain laser pointer. It just looks like a light. Okay. Don't flash that in your eye. Cringe. Okay, that was more intense than I would like it to be. Okay, so anyway, it comes like this with this thing. I figured, you know, we might as well look at all this crap. Okay. So now this is the Q5. We're just going to open this bitch up. It's got a magnet. It actually literally has a magnet. Fancy. Okay, so this is what it looks like. One of the more weird ones. Yeah, I decided we're going to take it out on camera because it comes with all sorts of weird crap. So white. I don't know if this is like an open back design or what the hell this little indention is. It's white. It's pretty cool. Again, the cable looks kind of like one of those thin. At least it's not sticky, but you know, it's not thick either. Okay, it comes with this box, obviously, but a box of goodies. I think I may make a separate video actually listening to these things after I open it all up. Okay, it comes with a carrying pouch by EPZ. Okay, I think I'm just gonna start dumping this crap together. Okay, so it comes with this G10, whatever the what is this? I don't even know. Okay. Typical standard carrying case with some ear tips. I'll try to keep it all together to some degree. I don't even know where that went. Okay, let's open this one. This is the Tipsy, which could be the most expensive one. Again, this has been 9 minutes. Okay, it comes in a pretty basic box. Looks really nice. I think all these have the same cable, to be honest, or something very similar. Maybe slightly different, to be honest. Okay, these don't even have the tips on them yet. The Tipsies. Tipsies don't have any tips on them yet. And then, of course, this one comes with another pouch. Tipsy EPZ. Okay, at least it's labeled, and that's about it. This one's pretty basic. So I'm looking forward to listening to these, and I'll give my opinion. This is the Tipsy. I don't, maybe it says it on the freaking things, otherwise I'm screwed. They didn't even, no. This one doesn't even have the labeling on it. It's got some dragon on it. So I don't even know if these actually have the, okay, so this is the EPZ G. Okay. This kind of reminds me of the audio design. Okay, so yeah, the Tipsies don't even have a tip on them yet. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna pause it again, maybe splice it all together, I don't know. Okay, so I am wearing the EPZ Tipsy, which are $88. I listened to them and I immediately noticed the treble sounded funky, sounded lumpy, sounded colored, which is a big problem with IEMs and headphones. And I mean, the treble is usually pretty bad, pretty lumpy, pretty funky. There's you know, I don't know if these actually have the advertised frequency response with them. I can show you, you know, no they don't. Funny. So yeah, these do not sound natural in the treble. I can show you the frequency response just for shits and giggles. Give me a second. Okay, so this is the EPZ Tipsy. We can see, again, it's $88. We can see the treble is pretty lumpy, pretty funky. There's this huge 5K peak, a 8K peak that's very narrow, and you know, dips and stuff in between all that. That's not good. You know, again, we can look at our target here of what it's supposed to sound like, and we can see in the treble it's very lumpy, it's very funky. And you know, we can pull up again what I recommend, the SimGod EM6L, which has a nice smooth treble, very similar. Again, a lot of these chi-fis are actually very similar. It's just when we get in the highs, you know, the Tipsy just is kind of all over the place. You know, Shimon, have a whole wheat, come on. So it's nice and smooth on the EM6L in the treble, while it's terrible and lumpy on the Tipsy, versus a nice smooth treble on the EM6L. So that's very audible, you know, very unnatural, and that 5K is definitely very tedious. And these dips, you know, make it sound pretty muddled, to be honest. And you know, these peaks make it sound pretty colored. To be honest, I didn't really hear much harshness, just a lot of kind of funk and dips. But yeah, I mean, the trebles, you know, we there's better options, obviously. So you know, let's just go back and take a look at them one more time. So here we have the Tipsies. They, at least, you know, again, you know, at least they've got good, you know, holographic faceplate to them. It looks like it's only the faceplate. It looks like, you know, the sides of it, black, star 1 Tipsy or something like that. Star and 1 Tipsy. Okay. But yeah, it looks like black sides and then like some faceplate. That says Tipsy on it. It says Tipsy. But I mean, it looks nice. The cable is pretty rigid, kind of sticky, kind of, yeah, nothing special. So that's the Tipsy, a lot of 5 kilohertz lump coloration, funk in the treble. I wouldn't listen to them. I've got better options. I'll see you guys later. Next IEM. Okay, so hey guys, in this video, this portion of the video, I am reviewing the EPZ G10. It's got a big G on it for G10. It's the EPZ. And I actually like this one. It's only $65, so it's less expensive than the Tipsy. So the EPZ Tipsy, like X star 1 or something like that, star and 1. This one, it's a little bit more expensive. It's got a nice faceplate to it. But this thing, it's like $90 or something. It's actually quite fatiguing because of a 5 kilohertz peak. And the G10, honestly, based on the frequency response, I thought it was going to be pretty bad too. But this one, the G10, actually sounds more natural, and we can look at the frequency response real quick. So this is the frequency response for the EPZ G10. And I actually prefer this one over the EPZ X Tipsy, and it's mainly because of this 5K peak right here. It's a lot more subtle on the G10. When we get into the higher frequencies, it's pretty extreme. It's pretty messed up. A huge 8K peak, very sharp, and then a huge dip down at 10K. Surprisingly, the 5K peak is what I noticed most. And if we look at the Tipsy, it actually has a much bigger 5K peak, and I found it very fatiguing. Like when I listened to the EPZ X Tipsy, immediately a very intense 5K peak coloration, immediately very unnatural, very fatiguing. While the G10, even though it's got a bigger 8K peak and a much bigger 10K scoop, the lack of such an extreme 5K peak actually made the G10 in orange sound a lot better. So I actually like the G10 quite a bit more because it's got less 5K peak fatigue, and it's only $65. So I mean, immediately when I listened to it, I was like, hey, this doesn't sound too bad. This sounds pretty natural. I'm not, and surprisingly, the 8K peak was not bothering me. Surprisingly. So yeah, it's a much bigger 8K peak, but surprisingly, the 5K peak was what was fatiguing me immediately and very intensely on the Tipsy. And the G10 sounded a lot more clean and transparent there, less fatiguing. So I would go with the G10. They do seem to be shaped a little bit differently. Maybe slightly different shaping, or maybe the same. I don't know. It felt different to me when I was putting it in. So I don't know if it's always going to be comfortable to you guys. But yeah, the EPZ G10 I think is better of the two. And then I'm going to try one more EPZ IEM. And again, it actually sounded pretty good, surprisingly. The G10. Okay. Okay, I just got done listening to the EPZ Q5. This thing looks not the most appealing, to be honest. Kind of strange looking. So this is the EPZ Q5, and it is like $77, and it's very bright compared to the other two EPZs I just got done listening to, and we can see that on the frequency response. Again, the treble, there's a lot of 5.5K energy, which really colors the sound, fatigues the sound quite a bit. The peak doesn't seem to be super, prominent. It's kind of a wide peak, kind of a wide bump. So it's not like, really, really just intense coloration, but it's very, it's very there. It's very apparent. It's very colored in that region. It's just, it could be worse if that 5.5K peak was a little bit more narrow. But again, you'll notice the whole treble is pretty up there, so it's bright, colored. I think I like the EPZ G5 the most out of all three of these. EPZ G5. So yeah, the Tipsy and this thing, whatever the hell it's called again, I forget. Again, I think the G5 the G5 EPZ is the best out of the three. But again, I've never come across anything that's better than the SimGot EM6Ls. I don't even think SimGot themselves know how they did it. Whoever designed this thing is a genius, and it's very cheap. Actually, it's more expensive than all of these. So these are some pretty cheap EPZ earbuds, and they sound exactly like the frequency response. And we can look at it real quick for this thing and compare them. Okay, so this is the EPZ Q5. As we can see, it's got a lot of energy at 5.5K. Surprisingly, I didn't find it super duper fatiguing, because, looking at this, you could say that, oh, that looks really, prominent right here. It is definitely audible, definitely colored, definitely fatiguing, but I was honestly expecting a little bit more intensity than what I was hearing. We can see the overall treble is above the target quite a bit, which means, it's pretty bright. Again, all of these earbuds, did really good until they got into the upper mids and treble. And that's where they started getting quite a bit colored and fatiguing. And, that's when you want to get like the SimGot EM6Ls. I don't know if the color's gonna, I think it's frozen, my dudes. Yeah, it's frozen. French. So we already looked at the M6Ls. So anyway, I think that's it for this video. Obviously, I recommend the SimGot EM6Ls. And maybe the G10. If you wanted to get one of these three EPZ earbuds. And what is that, $80-something? Okay, there goes my dudes. So we can kind of see what's going on with these things based on the diffuse field target. So we can see the SimGot EM6L has extremely smooth treble. The G10, again, you can kind of see the G10 kind of does pretty good in those highs compared to like the Tipsy. The Tipsy, honestly, I thought the Tipsy was going to be the best of all of these, and I think it is the most expensive, isn't it? But no, the 5K peak really bothered me to a large degree on the Tipsy, and it's more subtle on the G10. So I like the G10 more, surprisingly, even though it has a huge 10K dip. The Tipsy actually looks like it follows the target a bit better, but that 1.5K peak really ruined it. And then we got the Q5. Let's change the color. So the Q5, we can see it's very bright, it has a lot of energy. But doesn't go below the target really in the treble. But yeah, a lot of 5.5K energy, 8K energy, then 13K energy. But yeah, the 5K is, really what sticks out to me, and we can kind of compare that to the Tipsy again. Surprisingly, I think the Tipsy actually bothers me more because it's kind of a more narrow peak, even if it's a lot more subtle. Don't ask me why. It's just what I notice when I listen to them. Yeah. I'm a little surprised, yeah, but the both of these are bad. They're fatiguing and colored, and like I said, I think the G10, I found it less fatiguing than the other two. So yeah, that's my pick, the EPZ G10. I'll see you guys later.